Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 3 Wide NASCAR edition. This week the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series is at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Food City 500. Overall, what I think is the best race of the year if you just cut out all the breaks for all the weather this week. The race ended with Kyle Busch bumping Kyle Larson out of the way and winning the race. This race had a little bit of everything. We had leaders getting caught up in incidents like when Kyle Larson came across the nose of Ryan Newman and went spinning, or when Brad Keselowski chased down Ryan Blaney and there were problems with Trevor Bayne ahead, which took out Blaney, ending his day. Now onto the three things that caught my eye this week at Bristol. Number 1, 2 Hendrick Motorsports cars in the top 5. After having an abysmal start to this season, Hendrick Motorsports had 2 cars in the top 5, with Jimmy Johnson getting his best finish of the season in 3rd, and Alex Bowman getting his best finish of the season in 5th. Last week it was William Byron who led the charge for the Hendrick Motorsports cars, and now this week with 2 cars in the top 5, maybe this is Hendrick turning a new leaf to show what everyone thinks they should be with their new Camaros. Now going into Richmond, we'll see if Hendrick could keep this up and maybe have all 4 cars have a decent finish on the day. Number 2, Kyle Busch keeps on rolling. Building on his momentum from last week at Texas where he won, Kyle Busch won this week at Bristol. As his team worked on the car, as he was not good in the short runs at the beginning of the race, it turned into the last short run of the day. He ended up getting to the back bumper, Kyle Larson bumping him out of the way and getting the win. As we've known in the past, Kyle Busch is really good at Bristol, and this just adds to what we all thought about Kyle Busch going into Bristol, and he'll more than likely be a threat when they come back here for the night race. And number 3, the best thing that came out of Bristol this week is that the bottom lane is back. After many years where we go to Bristol and the cars just run the top and really can't get the bottom going, where if you go down there you're kind of a rock and water going down. This year they added a lot of the traction compound to the bottom lane, and it showed that it would stay even through all the rain as they kept reapplying it after the track was getting dried this time. It's been a long time since the bottom lane was the best line at Bristol, and this harkens back to the old days a little bit, but we had a mix with the top line starting to come in towards the end of the race, where Kyle Larson was diamonding the last parts of the turn getting a run, which then ended up having him getting spun out by Ryan Newman when he didn't see him down there and just came across his nose. With the bottom lane being this good, if it can be this good at night, because as we've seen in the past, the night races tend to change how tracks were from the day, this night race could live up to what everyone thinks it would be. Now what to look ahead to when they go to Richmond next Saturday night for the Toyota Owners 400. Number 1, will Ricky Stenhouse keep up his momentum from Bristol and last year at Richmond? As we just saw at Bristol this week, Ricky Stenhouse with a beat up car ended up finishing 4th. Now as we look back to the first race last year at Richmond, Stenhouse also finished 4th. We'll see if he can put something together, maybe get his first win in the Cup Series on a non-restrictor plate track. Number 2, will Joey Logano break his winless streak? As we go back to this race last year, Joey Logano ended up winning the race, but that did not stand for long as his win got encumbered and he did not make the playoffs. Now 1 year later, we come back to the first race at Richmond, and we'll see if Logano can break his winless streak that goes all the way back to this race last year. And number 3, will Kyle Busch keep streaking? As we saw in the beginning of the year, Kevin Harvick had a 3-race win streak, where he won Atlanta, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. Now Kyle Busch looks to put his own streak together where he won at Texas, he just won at Bristol, and now looks to put the 3-peat together where he'll win at Richmond. As we've seen in the past, Kyle Busch has been very good at Richmond, has been close to winning, whether it was getting bumped out of the way by Carl Edwards, or when he spun out Dale Jr. and then Clint Bowyer went underneath him before the yellow came out. Now we'll see if the 18 can show the 4 what they're made of this year. And that'll do it this week for 3 Wide. Leave your thoughts about Bristol and what you think is going to happen at Richmond in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.